Hi all. I just thought I'd do the live stream. I know everybody's going crazy with 2020. A lot of crazy things going on. This Corona thing, real or imagined, who knows? But just the outfall of that, having everything shelter in place and all this kind of stuff. Wear your mask everywhere. Wash your hands. Just all this other complexity in life lately. California, we've had these fires. We've had really smokiness. And so I thought, all this 2020 craziness, I just thought I'd do a little live video. And also I'm trying to do a bunch of them in a row. So I worked late last night and I couldn't make a video with my camera. So this is my cheat code to have more days in a row making a video. Hi Cecilia, how you doing? Thanks for coming in the chat. I don't know why this camera keeps kicking out. I have to just keep clicking on the clickety spot here on the computer. But how you doing today? I have to leave my mouse near the clickety spot. I don't know if it's an internet thing or I really don't know. If this whole thing doesn't break, I'll be a happy camper. Canning. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done any canning, but I'm okay. I'm recovered. I got off at 2 a.m. and here it is, 7:30 p.m. So I rested what I could, about 8-9 hours. And then here I am. I just thought I'd talk about the 2020 craziness a little bit. And my solution, as always, is local. Go local. Don't worry about the big, giant things we can't control. If this thing is crazy bad, this Corona thing, we can't control it. Okay? Just all we could do is control our body and our yard. Try to eat as healthy as you can. Take the precautions you can. Take some vitamin D3. If, like me, you're not out in the sun constantly and out in the weather constantly. That sounds good, Cecilia. And, just try to eat more vegetables or whatever makes you healthier. Some people say this keto thing with more heavy on meats is healthier for them. If it makes you healthier and keeps you from getting sick, that's what I'm talking about. Do things locally more. Part of what I'm always saying is grow and share food. And of course, build soil. But sometimes you're in more of you want to grow food sooner. So first thing, start growing something, then start building soil. I don't know. Is there a second wave coming here? I don't know. I'm stuck on everything day to day lately. And also there was a YouTuber that I haven't met in person, but I met on here that said on her video that she's a little down. And I thought, maybe a lot of people are feeling down with all this stuff going on, 2020 craziness. Let me just offer my keen or unkeen insights and just go from there. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. Okay. Do I know the exact answer for everybody and everything? Well, I like to think I do. But my solution is pretty much always the same. Build soil, grow food, share food, build community. Those are the 4 pillars, I think, and that type of thing. Let me see what you're saying because I don't have my glasses on. Let me put this comment up. The meat price has gone up. Found some cheaper at Walmart. Okay, good idea. Yeah, preparation is always a good idea. I believe preparation is always a good idea. So, can we always? I don't know. If we all work together, we all can always, I believe. So this thing of me versus everybody, or everybody that supports me, like a net, the permaculture net, I guess, a network, and we all take on a little bit of the load. You know, we can help each other thrive. Oh, okay. Less than 100 in a week, and now 450. You know, I don't look at the statistics anymore because I think there's something fishy going on with them. And all I can do is try to keep myself safe, take the precautions that I can, and still conduct the life I want to live, and try to protect others where I can, and that kind of thing. So to just look at statistics and get all, you know, get my immune system all out of whack and get in a panic, I can't do it anymore. But I know what you're saying. It seems like things are ramping up. Maybe they are in some places. And like I said, and back to what I said earlier, I take my basic precautions, stick with it, stay the course of that, keep trying to build up my life and build my soil. Slowly, I'm growing community where the Pacific Permaculture Institute will be. And hopefully this time next year, I'll have given them a lot of the produce that I've grown. I'm going to grow a set of things just for the neighborhood, is the idea. And, you know, build community, help them to eat better. Or maybe they don't want it. Maybe they give it away. Then they get to share with somebody else too. So, you know, it's doing some good things. Yeah, I've heard that about the meats. I'm not a big meat eater, so it doesn't affect me as much. But of course, we're all linked. And the thing about the meat, because of the giant packing houses, I believe, that have shut down with all this Corona thing and all this. There's some of that that's really true. Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. And you know what? Any of us, we don't know what shape we'll be in a month, 2 months, 8 months. It doesn't hurt to have pre-made, easy to fix things. I know there's all this craze of saying, you know, processed food isn't any good, but it has its place. That's all. Hi, Glenn. Out of Garden. Thanks for coming by. This was just a spur of the moment. I'm trying to do videos every day until I get 55 because I turned 55 this year. Just kind of I thought of that the other day after I realized I'd done like 6 or 7 days in a row having a video. And because I worked into the AM, didn't have a chance to really film a video. So I thought, well, I can keep this from ending now. Let me just do a live. And I'm just talking about how we can get through all this craziness. And my thing, you probably already know what it is. My thing is grow soil, grow food, share food, build community. You know, that's kind of the 4 things I've hit on. That's how we can make it better. You know, I'm taking basic precautions for me and trying to keep those around me from getting sick. If indeed this is really a thing. If it isn't, we're no worse off from taking precautions. And anyway, trying to build some community where my Pacific Permaculture Institute will be, and my house, and building the soil and growing things and just moving forward. Let's just deal with things on a local level as much as possible. In other words, our yard, help with our neighbor's yard. So kind of what I'm saying is don't everybody get all spun up about these giant things that we have no control over. What we can control is protect ourselves and those around us to the degree we can. Try to eat healthy. Try to put in some D3 if you're not out in the getting sun every day. Maybe some vitamin C, things like that. Some things that'll protect you. The homegrown food is going to be so much better for you, whether it's cooked or raw or however you deal with it. If you juice it, and just go from there. Work out. Let's all work out from our own life on our own yard instead of letting the weight of the world. We're not like Atlas trying to hold up the world. We can't do it. I can hold up myself and try to help support some of those around me. So let's kind of, if we're getting spun up about these giant things, let's take a few steps back and just start at the start. So that's kind of where I'm coming from on this whole thing. To some degree, I get a little spun up with this stuff too. I'm tired of not being able to travel where I want to because I'm not a giant traveler as it is. And now's the time when work is slow, I could travel, but now then I can't. So it's that kind of craziness. But just start where we're at. We don't need to get spun up about every single thing everywhere. Yeah, you know what? I didn't get a giant harvest, honestly. I got a great harvest. And I'm considering doing some greens for the fall, even though I don't know when fall is because of how our weather. I get tomatoes and sweet peppers into November, December, so hard to say, right? I'm going to put the invite if anybody wants to come up on the panel, they can, just because it's a little boring just to listen to me for another 20 minutes or whatever. And you know what? I'm learning. We're all learning from each other. That's the thing. This is a multi-learning discipline. So if anybody wants to come up, feel free. Click the link. And I should post some more banners, huh? They that's the thing. I mean, we all catch ourselves and we have to step back and go, wait a minute, I'm getting too spun up about big issues I can't deal with. So deal with the issues we can. Yeah, see, I have a little electric heater on right now, but it's just because I'm kind of tender to the cold, okay? But most people will be like, yeah, it's plenty warm. And especially with all this corona thing, I don't want to take a chance on being sick. Why risk it? So I can't do any good in the world if I keel over right now and I'm not here in a year. But if I can try to make it another year, I can try to have made improvements over that year. So what I don't know if Glenn, it looks like Glenn boogied, but I was going to ask him what he's growing. But yeah, compost will happen too. You put it out there, it'll happen. And if a person really wants to turn it, I guess I offended people by saying turning compost is for the young and dumb. But to me, why do I want to do that? It's not my. Why is it any of my business that compost has to be turned? That's for somebody else. That's not in my realm of the possible and the probable. Oh, okay. If you want to get on the panel, you can, Glenn, or otherwise don't. Hey, it's up to you. But I'm leaving the option. What are you growing? What are you growing for your fall garden, Glenn? I'm trying to figure what I'm gonna put for the more cooler times. I'm not even sure. Not even sure at all. Exactly. Even if you do it wrong, compost happens. I recommend a book, and I wish I knew who wrote it, but there was a book called Let It Rot I got years ago from the bookstore about compost. And it basically says, even if you do it wrong, compost happens. Exactly. See, that's the thing. You're building community, Cecilia. I mean, that's what I plan to start doing. I've got, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4. There'll be 7 neighbors, and 1, 2, I think 5 of us are the property owners. So one guy kind of looks askance at me because My dad owned the property that he doesn't any longer own, and I think he was scared he's going to lose his place. So when I go outside, he kind of turns away. Teach his own. But life moves on. Yeah, and just the thing about the craziness is just try don't to not get all caught up in the craziness part of it. That's what I'm saying. Just everybody chillax. I just caught a video of somebody that's here in the Bay Area that was getting all wound up. I guess had a bad day thinking about all this 2020 crazy, and I just thought, it prompted me to make a video too. I thought, well, let's just think about this. What can we do where we're at? Maybe it's limited, but do what we can, and then that's it. Even at first, I've changed my attitude from the beginning. At the beginning, I was spraying this and spraying that, and they said spray off every bottle and all this. So I was pasta sauce bottles I'd spray off and all this, and now I let them set a couple days because supposedly the thing dies after a couple days. Then I use them, and that's how spun up can I get about everything? I got a family member that's also a little bit ill, and it's just I can't get wound up about every giant thing out there. It's not possible. I kind of won't let it be possible, okay? And I'm not faulting somebody if they haven't learned how to deal with that, but teach his own. Let's all just try to do our best individually and collectively. Wow. Oh, that's right. You're in Florida and the tomatoes get toasted in the summer, huh? So you've got what, like in California, we just call a regular garden season garden, but to you, it's a fall garden. Cool. Right on. Grow it out. Eat good. Live well. I put another layer on top. If that's checking on the compost, I did put some more layer on top. So that's the thing. I've been abusing it, I guess. Oh, that's a shame. Hi, J3. Thanks for coming by. You'll notice, I'll say it again, but you'll notice over time, my solution to all this stuff, it's personal. Personal and small scale collectively. Okay. Grow some food. Share food. Build community. Ultimately build soil. But the first thing, if a person's all panicked right now, because look, there is going to be an economic tsunami hit. Okay. I might not make it. Whoa. The sky is falling. Okay. So what can we do? We can grow some food. All of us can grow some food. And maybe we can't grow our whole diet for a year. What if we grow 2 onions and it helps us get by for another couple days or a week? Still better off. Okay. So any little bit of growing some food is going to help. If we have too much, we can always share it. And that builds community with the neighbors and friends and whoever we come across, right? So that's the thing. And ultimately, if you can and want to and all this, you're into it, build soil. Dig a pit, start throwing your yard waste and your food waste and everything in that, and look up the best ways. But even if you do it wrong, the soil will improve. You'll grow better food, easier, and all of this, and just keep that cycle going. Monday night, I think we missed it. 2 minutes long. Are you in Mindoro right now, J3? Two minutes? I mean, that's super short. Well, is that just a preview? Is just a preview premiere, J3? What kind of animal pressures do you have there, Cecilia? Oh, okay. So Something I don't get about why is it only 2 minutes on the thing. You know what I've noticed, Cecilia, also is that there's some rabbits running around there, and some succulent that was just a decorative thing is getting eaten back. So I got to be real careful what I plant in the ground that's for me to eat, because them little rabbits might just go a little crazy on it. Then you see old Yosemite Sam out there. Oh, okay. So you got to deal with the squirrels and the raccoons, huh? I don't know the answer, but do what you can. Oh, okay. So Jenny is already living in there, and you have to get over there. You can't because all this shutdown thing apparently. Okay. Well, hey, any little bit, I'll try to remember that Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. What I'll do is I'll go to your site and I'll click on notification. Although, most of the time I don't click people's notification, because at one point I'd click everybody's and I started getting so many emails I couldn't even keep up with them in my regular email. So, and I'm not sure the answer. I'm sorry to say that I don't know the answer. Central, so I think that's 2 hours off of me. So that's 5 p.m. my time now. If I don't work Monday, because sometimes I don't get off till 5 p.m. or such, then I'll try to be there. But I will try to get over and click your link. Ring the bell, so that notification bell, so I get notified. I'm not sure. Raccoons. Maybe that's why they used to hunt them and eat them too, huh? Because they tear everything up that you're trying to grow for yourself. That's cool. So is she going to send you some more video of the province where you guys are going to live? Anyway, if any of you want to come up on the panel, you can. Somewhere up above, I put the invite link. I mean, come tell your story if you want. You don't have to talk about what the supposed topic is. I just had to put something down when I went live, and that was on my mind, so that's what I put. Oh yeah, I bet they do. Meat is full of nitrogen. A lot of skid. No? There's no, you mean skids like wooden skids? No. There's container terminals here. They don't have those kind of things. Oh, do you mean like pallets? Not where we're at, because they don't load the containers here. I mean, they don't stuff them. They just, the container boxes are already loaded when they get to the terminals nowadays out here in the West. And then those boxes get stacked, unstacked as the case may be, as time allows and all that, but there's no hardly any wood involved.
How you doing there, brother?
How you doing?
Doing good. Just working on a few.
I had the volume down, so I probably missed what you said at first. I was like, he's not saying nothing. I was stuck again.
I'm doing good there, brother. I'm just working on a few things.
So you're just waiting for this lockdown to get unlocked so you can go to the Philippines, am I right?
That, or for Jeannie to come here.
What's the story of somebody coming from there to here? Is it a big, long quarantine too?
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame. So it's a real challenge one way or the other. I've been wanting to get a trip out of here, just go to Hawaii, but it's up to 14-day quarantine. So unless I talk to a hotel that's willing to supply my food, I'm going to starve to death in a week and then have to come back all emaciated, you know, or actually be dead. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
thing is, you can't take any food into the Hawaiian chain or into the Philippines with you.
Exactly. But what I do want to do is contact this hotel where I stayed and say, hey, do you guys can you facilitate some kind of deal where somebody shops for me and all this? And if they can, I really wouldn't mind going to Hawaii for a week and just staying, as long as I don't have to be strictly in the room. If I can get in the hotel grounds a little bit and just keep my distance, I'll do it. I'll do it for 5-6 days. Just to
Well,
get away from here and get a change.
that's why I'm going to head down to Mississippi.
Oh, are you going to the big meetup?
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah, that you guys are gonna have a heck of a time. Heck of a good time.
it's going to be fun.
Yeah, exactly. Get out and get with these people you kind of know, get to really know them, and that'll be neat.
Yeah, I'll be um, taking video off the road trip from the bus
Nice.
window.
Oh, so you're taking the bus down? Okay.
I'm taking the bus.
Hey, it works. It gets you there, right?
Oh, yeah. 2 days later, but I get there.
I've taken the train up to from the Bay Area to and I lost it in my brain. It's not Seattle. It's some other little town up there, but it's like 20 hours. I didn't get the sleeper car. Okay. So I could have took probably a bus too, but I'm like, well, I'll take the train, but it was cheap. It was so inexpensive. At the time, I think it was $188 for the round trip. Oh, to Olympia, Washington. I mean, I couldn't get there probably any other way that cheap and have kind of a nice ride part of the time. So it was worth it.
Right.
And I didn't have this channel then. Now I'll be taking video the whole time. You kidding me? I'll have some place to put it.
Well, one thing with me is I'm going to be these. I'm not going to upload right away because I'm going to take the splices of video,
Uh-huh.
put them all together, then upload them
Oh, okay.
for one long video.
Oh, okay. It'd be like a couple hours or something.
And no, not necessarily a couple hours.
Or seriously long.
Make it like 30-minute videos.
Okay. Well, then you can speed up segments too, if you on your editing. So if you wanted.
Well, one good thing is I use Filmigo
Uh-huh.
for my editing. So I just upload the raw video.
Okay, and then what advantages is it? Is it easier to edit and stuff?
Yeah.
Because by accident I found out this Windows Movie Maker is super simple. And I used to have Sony Play Memories, and I thought, wow, this is great. The camera was great and simple, but the program, and I figured it out a little bit, didn't have as many features as Windows Movie Maker. And the only reason I found out my other computer went down and I got this was formerly my mom's, so I pressed it into service and it was already on there. So I'm like, start using that. It's super simple and got more features. I couldn't even believe it.
Yeah, next time I get on the internet with my computer, I'm going to have to look to see if I can find it.
Or get someone to get you a copy. But
too.
Whatever, everybody's got different programs, right? But whatever works good for you. I'm not knocking what you're doing. I just found out for me, wow, I need simple and super simple. And even with my camera got quit working because you couldn't see in the little tiny screen my Sony Handycam. So then what happened. I got another one, and long story short, that got wet or something. Got ruined in Hawaii. And then the other ones I got, I couldn't figure out how to use them. It's too complicated. So I got down to this little Canon PowerShot camera that takes video too. I use that all the time now. They made it so complicated that I found an easier solution.
Ain't that about how we usually have to go about it?
Yeah, it's like, and all the time I had that just to take pictures. I was just scared to use it for video. Duh, you know. Now I actually bought a couple more that I lost meanwhile, but that's all I'm going to have is them easy to use with things. Why do I want to make it? I don't need the color balance and all that. If my channel gets so big that I have to do that, I'll probably be paying someone to do that. Until then, anything else is good enough. I can do it. I'm not going to try to make it perfect.
Yeah, this Premiere that I've got shows just how bad it is out there in the province.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to get into the gist of it, but it's something that people need to see. They need to realize just how bad it is out there in the Philippines.
You mean like the economy totally shut down?
More or less, yeah. And this one here's clam hunting.
Uh-huh.
And Jeannie tells you exactly what's going on in English.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a shame. You know, we always think about how we're doing, good or bad, and it takes a little bit more thought or some insight from somebody to think how somebody else doing in another place. And usually when things shut down, because we tend to have the economics here to power these other places, they really go down.
Right.
You know, I mean, even China, I bet, is way low because how much we get, how many things we get nowadays that aren't made in China? Very few, right?
Very few.
So all of a sudden they stop running. There must be people literally starving over there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the CCP doesn't care that much. You know, at least the impression I have is they don't.
Well,
I hope they do. I hope I'm wrong, but you know,
all I know is right now I'm focused in on the Philippines and what's going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where my family's at.
Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, that's tragic. Yeah, I hope everybody does okay out there, and
And there towards the end, Jeannie tells you how to fix them. Fix her clams that you just got.
Okay. Let's check that out. That's the 2-minute one, right?
That's a 2-minute video.
Everybody be on the alert for that. Check out Joe and Jenny Journey's got a premiere coming Monday night. Yeah, that's sad and tragic. I don't know. I do know, but it's just tragic that this is going on. And because I really think this thing is overplayed, this virus. I really don't think it's as bad as what being told it is. It's very complicated, but it's a lot of bad.
It's bad for the ones that have some sort of underlying medical condition, but the ones that don't, or there's been many tests since this virus broke out on the different blood types, and they're finding O blood has more of a chance on withstanding the virus.
Oh, okay. We're the original. I'm O. When I say we're the original blood type, apparently.
Yeah, apparently, because I'm also O. And my blood has already been out to California. I haven't.
They can only send you in pieces, Joe.
Well, I'm a VIP member for the Red Cross,
Uh huh.
a VIP donor.
Yeah.
So I donate my blood. I'm over 3 gallons,
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
and I've tracked it all over the country.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing to do. I've read somewhere that they say eat for your blood type, but then I don't know. That's 100% true. But yeah, I know I'm O, and O is the one they changed to the other ones too.
Yeah,
So that's why they come in short supply of O because they use it for everything.
yeah. O blood can be used for everybody else, but only O blood can be used for O.
Right. But they would, you know what? The reality, they probably wouldn't have enough quantity of anything else. So,
Exactly.
it's one of them things. So,
And I'm on hold right now with the American Red Cross as far as disaster training
why are you on hold from it?
because I don't trust their internet connection on if it's secure or not when I go to upload my personal information.
Okay. That makes sense. And you know what? Every year in the last couple of years, I get my credit card hacked. Always around the St. June, July. I know whoever in Ghana wakes up or whatever, wherever they're at. So they say, oh, it doesn't expire for until whatever. They can put whatever date they want. Before then, in the last few years, it gets hacked and they have to shut it off. And then
Right.
nobody calls me, even though every time I say, well, hey, here's my number. You make sure, blah, blah, blah. Nobody ever calls me. I find out when I go to charge something and look like a doofus because people are staring at me like, where do you steal that card from? Yeah, that can't be his. It's not working. You know,
Yeah, I've seen that I don't know how many times.
and go through all that and then find out, oh, yeah, well, we shut it up. Well, we called. So they'll tell me a phone number I had 4 numbers ago or some darn thing, you know? So that happened again this year after it happened last year and I think the year before. It's like, come on, people, you know, and all these charges and things I had never even heard of. Like, what? I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit.
Somebody told me I should get this LifeLock thing, but I just haven't went over to it.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of that myself.
Maybe that's the thing, but then I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure at some point that'll start getting hacked too. Nothing. I mean, but so
Nothing.
secure that somebody can't get into it. If it is, what happens when you mess up and you can't get into it?
Right.
And you need to. It's like I'll tell you, years ago, I remember when they're talking about this cryptocurrency and all this and Bitcoin, and I remember signing up and putting in like $10. Okay, and I think it got me 1 Bitcoin. And you had to download this secure wallet thing and all this. Well, I didn't trust all that. Plus, I had dial-up anyway back then. But long story short, I don't know how many computers ago that was. So all that is a line of text. I don't have that line of text, and I don't have that computer.
Right.
That was potentially worth thousands of dollars. Now, I don't regret that loss. It only cost me $10. And I was just doing it to support the thing. But it just goes to show anything that's too secure is no good.
Anything that they say is secure usually isn't.
And safes are made to be able to be gotten into by a professional. Otherwise, you got whatever in there and you want it out, and you lost the combination. How do you ever open it? You can't have it so impervious that nobody can open it.
Right.
So that's the thing. That's kind of my perspective. I don't know what you can do. That's why I got into LifeLock. Pretty soon I'll screw up and tell them the wrong thing, and then they won't let me in, and I'll be locked out of the system when I need in or something.
Well, that's the same way with me.
The way nowadays you can't get a person. If you can, they're in the Philippines, and I need them to be knowing about something here in California or wherever. No.
Yeah, they're outsourcing all their call centers to the Philippines, Southeast Asia, Africa. It's
Pretty
because of
soon
the work.
they'll probably have them in Ghana, right the door down from the guy that's hacking everybody. And the guy will just start printing out a slip and giving it to the next guy over.
Right.
You know, it's just not a large stretch from going to the lowest price possible to the place that's hacking. Is it might even be the same guy. You know, oh, hey, I got somebody's information now. Thank you. Thanks for calling. You know? But there is some pushback here. We have some internet things and stuff that are coming up where they say that you actually have personal service and you talk to an actual person. And thankfully,
Yeah, thankfully. But even when I call my cell phone company, I don't get an American. I get a call center out in the Philippines, Africa,
India,
somewhere else.
yeah,
But that's only because the labor's cheaper.
exactly. They can make bank, and that's what they pay them people's budget does. They would lose that money otherwise. It's like not paying anything.
I got many a friend on Facebook that are call center agents. They're used to being yelled at.
I bet. I guess you would have to be.
And
Take the brunt
whenever,
that the company is abusing people or, not treating them the way they need to be. And then this poor person not making hardly anything is getting abused, huh?
right. And whenever I call the call center and talk to the call center, they hear how pleasant my voice is. They're like, we need more callers like you. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yeah. But it's part of the thing that they don't. If you take a half hour to get through to something you're already frustrated about, people tend to unleash when they can actually finally talk to a person. It's not that
Right,
person's fault. It's the company that you're dealing with's fault.
right. And that's the way that our Filipino friends are looking at it. We know it's not our fault.
You
We
know,
know it's the company's fault. So,
yeah. So try to not get too upset. I even told the guy from AT&T because I'm canceling their internet. I said, hey, look, I know it's not you, but it's bullshit what AT&T does. Some of the games they play. Oh well, you can't have a bill if you have the internet and the landline. You can't have them on the same bill unless it's like automatic payment. What kind of crap is that? But suddenly, if you click the right thing, it's okay. No, that's total. So then I'm getting all these different bills. It's just one more thing to keep track of. If it's a different company entirely, it's easier because like Comcast, AT. Okay, that's my Comcast. This is AT&T. This is electric.
right.
It's a bit simpler. But yeah, they put, oh, we couldn't do that because he's telling the company line. Okay, whatever. If
Yeah,
they
I'm
wanted
not.
to do
I,
it, they would do it.
I don't have AT&T here. I'm my cell phone company is Metro
Oh, okay.
or T-Mobile.
Well, that was my landline in my internet. I got a consumer cellular, and a guy at work said, You're the first person I met that has that. Well, all I knew is I knew somebody that had it, and they recommended it, and I just went there.
Yeah,
Bad, I don't know.
I've been hearing nothing but good stuff from Consumer Cellular.
That's good. I know they came out with a simplified, like an iPad called either the GrandPad or something like that for they're marketing it to like grandparents and stuff. Big icons and simplified usage. So if
Right.
you want to get online or something, I think that's a good thing. Why does everybody have to be a programmer to make something happen? You shouldn't have to be.
Shouldn't have to be.
That's all behind the curtain, We just supposed to press a couple buttons and boom, that guy behind there does all the making everything go. That guy, that computer, whatever that system makes that should be making all that go right for us.
Right. And here shortly, my cell phone's going to be a laptop or a tablet.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I've got the second largest cell phone on the market right now.
Really? What brand is that?
An
Samsung?
Actel 3V. It's a Samsung.
Nice. I'm thinking to get that fold-out screen one if I can get my economics together a little bit better, or say,
Well, in order to buy that one there, you're going to spend almost $1,200.
I'm thinking that maybe the price will come down. Maybe it'll come around 8, and then.
Maybe in about a year it might drop to 600.
Oh, okay. Right, that's what I'm thinking. If I can get my economics up a little bit better. I don't need it, but just sometimes you just want something different. I generally don't have top of the line. It's because that is going to get destroyed just as quick as the one that's not top of the line.
Right. And it also depends on how you want to take your cell phone. If you're like me, you need it on the outside of you, on your belt. You're going to be looking for a belt clip.
Yeah. So then you're really going to need a big old clip with that whole thing.
Yeah. Could you just see somebody walking around with a tablet on their hip?
That's next. It's coming. They'll have a special, like a backpack one day.
Well, that's actually how big the original personal computers were. You actually wore them on your back.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know where it's going because they're making everything smaller, but yet I was telling people, look, half the population's over like 40 or something in this country. Are they crazy? You can't just keep making everything smaller. So now things are edging back towards bigger again.
Well, it's a fad. That's what it boils down to. It's a fad.
Yeah, I guess so. But I liked when I saw the ad for that grand pad and all that. Wow, cool. If my dad was alive, maybe he'd get it. He was up there though, and he hadn't even dealt with a computer, so maybe he wouldn't. But
Yeah, I thought about getting a couple grand pads myself. One for myself, then one to be sent out to the Philippines.
oh, okay. The other thing though, then I think about that, but then I think, you know what? Just give me another laptop. I can do more. So, you got kind of an odd size thing, or you got something a little bit bigger. I just get the bigger thing that have more functions. So it's always that with me. I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll just get another laptop or something. It's always that debate. And all I really do, now I have the channel. I do videos, but other than that, it's basically just email. Not a whole lot of anything else. I don't hardly download anything. Even magazines, I got back to where just give me the printed one because so many problems with the download. Then this doesn't work this time, and I was tired of dealing with it. Like, just send me the real printed one. I don't want to deal with nonsense anymore. Same thing with the printer. I got rid of the printer because every time I'd have some issue. I've been through like 6 or 7 printers, Joe, and I finally said, you know what? There's a place called Copy World and these other print centers I can go down if I want to print something. And everything else, sometimes I just got to write a note. Oh, wow. That's not going to make me melt. right your
Well,
nose. So
it's
it's
just like the business my wife and I are wanting to do.
and what's
You know,
that?
we're looking into working with orphans out in the Philippines
Oh,
to
okay.
start out with. We're looking into opening up our own non-for-profits.
Hmm. Interesting. I think you're talking to somebody on Jay's channel one night, and I was listening. And now that you mentioned it, I'm starting to remember a little bit of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this premiere that I've got coming up Monday is what Jeannie is facing.
Uh huh.
Um, and boy, if I was there, I would probably do something else besides the way that she did it. But they do what they can do out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can only deal with the way now, whatever the situation, right? So, and culturally, like you say, that's we can't get all spun up about how somebody else does. It's yeah,
We have a
But
certain way.
that's a shame that they're so beaten down by the economy because everything stopped.
Yeah.
So I hope they can all get up on their feet too as this place gets up and rolling. Slowly it is here in California anyway. I really can't vouch for any other spot.
Well, even here in Missouri, they actually backtracked a little bit.
I mean, they're opening restaurants and you have to have distance and all that. I can't say that I'm big on wanting to go to a restaurant. I kind of thought, well, why do I need to go to one anyway? So it'll change. Some people will shift what they're doing for sure.
Yeah, so true.
Hopefully they shift towards us all being healthier, most people, and that's my hope. More people grow some food and be healthier and share fresh food so we know what good food tastes like again. And quit buying that crap from the supermarket. Maybe, even if you can't grow it, maybe you got a neighbor that'll grow it, grow healthier, tastier food.
Well, that's why I've got a little game here that I picked up from another non-for-profit. It's for hydroponic gardening,
Oh, okay. Nice.
and we're going to be teaching that to the kids out there.
Yeah, some way to get by a little bit better, maybe for your efforts, or at least to get by, right?
Right.
And even in this country, that's lost on education. Is I know it's not the teacher's fault; it's the system itself, but it tends to be lost. Like, how about basic things? Nobody teaches you how to grow a plant or whatever, how to eat, how to take care of whatever chicken. And talking about a bunch of stuff, and hardly ever is it connected with something real.
Right.
You
And it
know,
takes.
if I'm running, if I got a train car and run down this track, and someone else coming down the same track from the opposite direction, you know what? I'm relying on the people that run the railroad to figure this shit out. Okay,
Right.
I don't really care. Tell me something about how I can grow my own food and relate that to math or whatever.
Right.
I didn't have the wherewithal or the voice to be able to say that, or the brain probably to be able to figure that out when I was a kid. But it just didn't make sense figuring that crap out. Why am I figuring out how the train goes, how quick to meet and bump into the other train? They got whole systems that are supposed to be figuring this crap out.
Right.
It's my
And
time.
they will. The entire rail system is actually computerized. This way they can be sitting like in New York and
Uh-huh.
see what a train's doing out there in California.
Nice.
They could be sitting down in Texas and see when a train departs New York.
Uh-huh. But yeah, so I mean, to teach kids something that is really relevant to their life, that's great. You know, it's
And it's like the old adage that we grew up on is what they taught us years ago. We it's all about uh, you give a man a fish, he eats for the day. You teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime.
yeah, yeah, that's it. And we need to start teaching those who know. And you know what? To create like, hey, 20 kids know and start doing it. Well, to become the trainers, also to train others. That's the thing. You try to cultivate that. Eventually, everybody knows. No problem. You imagine that in this country, all this, they call them homeless, whatever. Okay, they don't have a set place to be. A lot of them would dig something like that, where they could figure out how to cultivate their own food. And why do I care if they're part of the system? I just don't want to see them starving in the so-called richest country in the world.
Right. You and I talked about that before,
It's
about the displaced.
yeah, and it's that's a good term, is it displaced? And I don't know. I see solutions that are out there to teach people, and I know everyone it won't apply to. What if it applies to 30% of them do it? Wouldn't that be an improvement? That's
Actually,
what.
if it's only the 5%, I'm going to go low on it.
Hmm.
If it's only 5% of our displaced friends, um, learn how to garden,
Yeah,
learn how to fish. It's that 5% that we know will survive.
that's the thing, and won't need constant attention. And some people will get it together and start a community around that, and just boom, they're rolling.
Hmm.
And they'll draw in people that aren't as adept to be a part of that community. They'll just support it.
Right.
And it's just, you're right. Even a small, I mean, 1%, you know, any little bit, it's worth our effort to start training people in things that'll help them achieve, not set them up for failure like society's been doing.
Right. What
Just
I
so
did,
you don't have to work for
uh,
some guy that's a monster, it's, or get thrown out of the system, then blamed for being thrown out.
right. And what I did up there in St. Louis was, yeah, I was out on the streets. I'm not going to lie. I was on the streets. I was one of the displaced. But I also took food out of my own pack and fed other people that I had that I had found that hadn't eaten for days.
Oh yeah, that's great. It's a good thing to be doing. It's, and the whole thing really is about community. But there's a lot of people that are doing well in the Bay Area. How many of them are are helping out somebody who isn't? Probably very few. Part of it may be that just not being near them, right? But hopefully, if they get near someone that they can help, they do. Hi, Homestead. Thanks for coming by. You, you stopped in to say good day. I hope you're not swearing at me. I know you say things backwards in Australia.
Good day down there, mate.
Throw another shrimp on the bobby. Who was that? Paul Hogan, I think, had that some commercial. That's the only
Yeah,
Australian I know.
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, Crocodile Dundee. I've seen a biography on him. He was really a character. I think he's still alive, but he's really a character. Genuine article. So how you doing today, Homestead? Lynn and Wayne, correct? Yep, old croc. I have no idea what that means. Can you please speak English? I mean, like American English.
Old Croc means Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought that was they're referring to me. I'm like,
I'm over here just laughing.
Son of a gun or SOB or something. An S heel to not say the whole swear word. You know, I've encountered people from, I think, like Scotland and Australia and Canada at the cruise terminal that would say things to me. And because I don't know that phrase and the thick accent, I don't know what the heck they'd say. I just kind of go, yeah. Don't have any clue as they walk by. And like, what the heck was he talking about? Okay. Yeah. You know, and then go back to doing my job. Thinking like I'd ask my coworkers, what did so and so say? Oh, I don't know.
He was a lurking.
He was a larrikin. What the heck is that now?
A wannabe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think what a combination would make a larrikin. A pumpkin and a Larry and a pumpkin? I don't know.
Am I right there, Homestead?
A funny guy. Okay. Yeah. We're separated by a common language.
One thing with me there, my friend, I listen to the language, and I'll get to the point where I understand more than what they do.
Yeah, I got you. You get familiar with how it's said, and
right.
And a lot of things are contextual. Like I tried in vain for years to learn Japanese, but a lot of it's contextual, and part of it I didn't have anybody to practice with to talk to. They say, "Oh, just talk to a stranger." No, I'm not that way generally in English. Go hit up, hey, so and so, hajimemashite. Look at me like, who the hell is this? Or they get into hyperspeed, and I won't know what they're saying either.
Right. Take care up there, Cecilia. Be safe.
Okay, have a good night, Cecilia. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be waiting for some of that canned chicken or whatever it is in the mail. I'm kidding. I'm not waiting. Yeah. Oh, you got to do chores down there, huh? That talk strange to me, but yeah, I guess so. With you guys' thick dialect, I would say so.
Well, it's just like if I go to.
It's too clear.
It's just like if I talk to somebody out there in Scotland, Ireland, England. Mm-hmm. Even whenever I talk to y'all down there in Australia, we know we have this common language, English, but it's different parts of the same language.
Yeah, and phrasings and stuff.
Exactly.
Colloquialisms, as they call them, to use a really giant word. And they even have that in all the, like Japanese, they have, I forget what they call it. I had a book at one point. These are all little pet expressions. But then people too. So them, 30 years from now, they'll all be different. Because you remember in the 70s, all the phrases, most of them fell out of favor. They're not used anymore.
Well, some of the sayings I still say today to these kids, they give me the strangest look.
Yeah, like I'll still say that cat, and nowadays they're like, hey, dog. And the first time somebody said that to me 20 years ago, I didn't know if he's like, I'm like looking at him like, what's he want? Is he like trying to pick a fight or what the hell's going on with this? And I just listened and, okay, well, I kind of figured it out basically. But, hey, dog. Dog.
Yeah, well, I had to wind up explaining one of my sayings.
What's that? Like slip me some skin?
No, whenever I go to a restaurant or another establishment like that, even into a gas station, I'll tell the attendants, don't play too hard.
Okay.
If you don't know what that means don't work too hard.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard it, but I'm thinking it has something to do with that too. I would guess that, I wouldn't be too confused. I'd be like, well, he must have meant this.
And with me being from the Midwest, you from the West Coast, naturally our sayings are going to be much different.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I would think so. Like this thing, I don't know if you have it out there. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like to use that one. So I try to say, that's the way it is. That's the way it
Well,
goes.
we've been saying around the Midwest here, it is what it is, and take it as it is.
Take it as it is. So, yeah, things like that. I try to use an alternative that I can fit right in my brain better.
But I was raised from the,
But so what? Maybe the young people need to learn some of them.
yeah, they do. Because if they want to be able to talk to the older generation, they need to know how the older generation is going to talk.
Exactly. And I've been educating people on like, hey, this quick and wrong thing has got to change. Everything just being quicker when it's not right doesn't help anything. Let alone the words and the phrases and all that. Oh, just do it quicker. No, do it right.
Yeah, I'm 2 hours behind you in time frame.
You're way late at night.
10:30 work.
Person, so it's easy for me, even regardless.
Right. It's 22:36 here.
Yeah, that's late. 10:36. See, a lot of people don't know that either. We use that at the port a lot of times, that 24-hour time, and people are looking at y'all crazy, or they give the wrong time because they know it's like 4 p.m. and they'll go, it's like the ship docked at 1500 or something crazy.
Yeah. And I'm Department of Interior, Fish and Wildlife.
No, okay.
So I got used to the 24-hour clock, and I still use it to this day.
Yeah, I got kind of the habit of being able to use both, and even sometimes I go to a job and it starts at 5 o'clock and it's at 1700. But I've got it pretty tuned in my brain now that either one is okay. Just roll. People get lost in a second. If you want someone to get lost, use that. A lot of people don't know it.
Right. Well, I need to get off here. I think my housemates are asleep, so.
All right, yeah, that's kind of happening here. I just caught heck like now it's doing wow. So once I move over to the new institute, and it'll be different. So I don't have people hounding me, but soon. Anyway, thanks for coming by, and we'll talk to you next time.
Hope to see you Monday, even though it's only a little quick 2-minute premiere.
Yeah, I'll
But
try to catch it. I just don't know what my work schedule is and all that. And hopefully I don't forget. I'll write it down. Try to catch it. Otherwise, I can
yeah,
watch it replay anyway, right?
right.
Yeah, so I'll watch it one way or another. I'll try to catch it when it's on, but if not, I'll catch it on.
Okie doke.
All
I'll
right, thanks, bro. Talk
catch
to
you
you
on the
next.
flip side.
Hope everybody does okay in your family and all that. It's tragic.
Oh, I know. How long has it been since you've heard this term? Catch on the flip side.
Probably a couple of weeks. Somebody at work says that.
But
That's what I like. We got some older people. They do use the older phrase.
and I know a lot of people out here don't know what that means, especially as younger kids.
Yeah, yeah, you could lose them in a second.
But I'm going to step down for a little bit until you end, so
All right,
I'll be listening.
I'll probably just. Oh, maybe I'll keep it going for a minute, Glenn's here, but in a few minutes I'll probably let you go. Thanks for coming up, like I said. Yeah, I'm still on. Some would say on and on, Glenn. It's, apparently, Joe has a video coming out, short clip of how tragic it's in the Philippines on Monday at 7 p.m. Central. So I'm gonna try to catch that, and anybody, if they have a chance, try to catch that one. And I don't know how to make it where somebody could post the link, so sorry about that one. Oh, no problem, Glenn. Well, it's kind of hit a wall, my planting, but I've been harvesting things. I need to get some more planters, and just with everything, I got caught in a zone of just kind of not getting nothing done for a few weeks. And I'm going to get some more planters soon because I want to grow some things. I want to have a cutting garden, just flowers to cut. In addition to, I want to have some things like some herbs like mint that I can put in a barrel that doesn't just escape into the yard, take over everywhere where I don't want it. So I have to get some of them. And I don't know, I'm still thinking about maybe some kale and stuff, but it's just timing how it all goes. It's hard to say. And still got things I've been trying to push through, get my mural hung up, and overall things are coming along. Just keep walking forward, and it's just it's going, okay. Just keeping with it the best I can. The thing about owning your own place is there's so many decisions that wow, I got to decide on everything now. I'm not used to that. Okay, thanks. They're a nitrogen fixer too, correct? Now, do you eat pigeon pea also, or is it just a nitrogen fixer? I definitely have a lot of scarlet runner bean that I'm going to try to regrow to rejuvenate the soil with the planters, and doing my pit composting and trying to think what I'm going to put along the fence I have and start that, and just little by little by little just keep it going. Soon I'll have most of the work done that I have to do on the house, so then I can do other things. More things in the yard. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Everybody talks about it as far as the nitrogen fixers. Good. Good to know. And you know what? I think I'll start a seed collection too. Let's try to do kind of a seed library maybe at some point. I mean, I have all these ideas and intentions. I just know that I probably can't do it all by myself. So do what I can. Find out what I can do by doing it. But yeah, I'm thinking to get some mulberry trees. I know mulberry will grow here because I've got like 3 fruitless mulberry in the back, and I don't really want to replace them right away. But they're 40 years old, and they're fruitless. Oh, okay. So I'm thinking to grow some maybe in between or something. They're regular mulberry, and if when it gets big, start cutting back the fruitless slowly, and maybe in the next 20, get rid of the other ones. And I don't know. I haven't really decided because the fruitless provide a good shade and all this. So I don't know. I would like regular mulberry here. I just little by little chip away. I gotta reduce my food budget and get healthier food. That's if I pay the same and get a lot healthier food, great. But also greater if I can reduce my food budget to a big goose egg and eat really a lot better food. So I'm trying to figure out between what I grow, how I can get discounts, how I can maybe get a part-timer to cover it, and maybe at a place that sells food, so then I get a discount too. Maybe I don't know. No, they're fruitless. They, I think generally the fruitless are the male. More and more, I wish I had notes on everything that, like things were planted, what was done exactly, when and where, and just all this for the house. Because there's some things I'm really not too sure of. And so those I have to just work through. Things you never think to ask somebody because you don't realize you'll ever end up with their house. It's I don't know. It's going to be a journey. That's all I could really say for sure. It's going to be an eating journey. Anyway, as I started out the evening saying, I'm trying not to get too spun up about everything, everywhere. Just doing my thing where I can. I have to start looking for resources to get seeds and everything. So start growing whatever I can. Next year, I think even if I buy the tomato starts and I'll divide them and make more plants out and all that, I'll just start earlier in the year. And then I'll have more sweet peppers and more, I don't know, there's probably a lot of things I haven't even thought of growing that I should. Thinking of growing some beets for the fall. Yeah, all these plant product things there's issues with, so don't worry, I can get some through Range Tree Nursery. Probably what I'll try to do though, if I order some, I don't mind buying them, but at the same time, I do mind buying them. So what I'll do is I'll start trying to propagate from bare layer and such after a year or so. And try to make it easier for someone else to get something started. So that type of thing is some of my ideas. And just take some work. Thing that helps is that I know it's going to be awesome. So the work isn't going to be as bad, but I do know there's limitations to doing work every day. So I try to structure how much work I'm going to be doing and when and all this. Let's see, so if I get propagate now, get a few different varieties and just propagate the heck out of them, make a bunch more of the same thing. Go from there. And maybe I could trade this for that, this for that, this for that. And you know, I'm just kind of in awe. I've got a lot of opportunities at the place, not tons of land, but I can make it a lot better. So, and just to maximize the effectiveness of my property, and part of that is going to be my heating. But I'm also thinking I might move the washing machine over closer to where my clothesline is, so I can much more easily affect that, and just things like that. Every little change I can make that can make it easier or better somehow for me. It's going to be do a lot of that. I'm trying to get my media room together still, because when you rely on other people to do aspects, it takes time. Even if you're paying them, it takes time to get them there. And, but I'm looking forward to some good things, and yeah, especially if I can trade, you know, whatever I can trade. Like I had people doing things and just taking things away that they wanted that I didn't want, just things like that. Even I want to get into the cheapskate mode, so in the long term I can maintain, and then I can thrive. I know things I can't afford, but sometimes, but maybe I shouldn't afford, because then I can stretch out them dollars. You know, that's the thing. I can do something bigger with that $20 times 50. You know, that $1,000. I can do some bigger part of a project, maybe, to get a tree, even though the trees are worthwhile and all that. But it's just trying to maximize all the time. And I get more into that. Just, I mean, sometimes it just drives me crazy, all the opportunities I have. So it's like, oh, and just every dimension I can think of opportunities. So that's the thing. And just having the option to do what I want. This is my place. Wow, this is nice. They should have had a house 20 years ago. Yeah, just moving forward. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to get caught up in everything. Oh, the corona. There's so many. Okay, whatever. Am I staying safe? Am I trying to keep other people safe the best I can to my ability? Yes. So that's all I could do. And try to move things forward. You know what? I belong to California Rare Fruit Growers, if that's what you're referring to. And they have these sign exchanges every year, except for now, not with Corona. And to renew my membership in some of them things, but it's coming. I'm going to get it back together and try to do some things with them. Generally, at the sign exchanges, they'll have it set up where you can get a rootstock a lot of times, and then you can, for a donation, there's a volunteer there that'll do grafting, graft a cutting onto a rootstock, and basically, even if it's just an apple tree, you get this thing for like $5. Something might cost you 20 minimum somewhere else, so it might be some rare variety. So things like that, I want to instigate some action with them. And that's part of, I have a big outdoor room that I might be able to get them to come over and have some meetings and this kind of thing too. And just kind of make all the energies come together, and they won't have to rent a room someplace maybe, and I don't know, it just combine as many ideas together as I can and just keep it going. In time, give me 5 years, I'll be like this guy Gervais in LA. He had just everything. I might not be exactly him because I won't be growing lettuce probably and stuff like that as much. But I will try to make it as sustainable as I can and regenerative. So that also means as cheaply as I could do it. And just do it like that the best I can. And you think things like, even you talk about building soil and Google culture. Well, one thing is clay soils, the heavy clay soil, it holds nutrients already. But I have some wood, so I'm going to throw a piece in every pit. I'm going to throw at least one piece, so it's kind of a Hugo culture-ish type of thing. It's going to be my compost pit. Just combine energies. Otherwise, if you don't stack functions, do everything separately, not in an integrated way, it takes a lot more energy to do that. Oh, okay. You could join the CRFG too. I mean, you could be out of state and join. And they have a really nice magazine called The Fruit Gardener. So it'd be worth, I think it's $40 a year just for the magazine. I don't know if it's 8 or 10 times a year they send out. It's probably worth it for the magazine. I know my subscription ran out because I quit getting the magazine. I don't know when now, but yeah, you might consider California Rare Fruit Growers to subscribe to get the magazine. Fruit Garden, very nice. And anyway, yeah, I bet they canceled the meeting. They were having some Zoom call meetings at the local chapter here. Is a Golden Gate chapter that I haven't attended. So that's the thing. If I can get in more with people that are doing this kind of thing. In time, I want to be able to raise some chickens, but I don't want to do the whole slaughter it, raise it, slaughter it. I don't want to spend every time at the property. So what I'm thinking, I raise a dozen, maybe somebody gives me meat for 3 or 4 at a time, or 5 at a time, and trade for the live chicken or whatever. Yeah, things like that. Just as long as I feel like it's a good trade, it doesn't have to be perfect. I can leave a little bit on the table where they can do okay with it, just so I get my needs met. That's what I mean. So also there's the National Association of Fruit Explorers. You might look into it if you're not already conscious of them, called NAFEX. And I'm not sure if they have a magazine or what, but every once in a while they'll talk about NAFEX and the publications that we did. And that's the thing I'm realizing. The community of the organizations and all this, and just trying to see, that's a good thing too. Do it for the eggs. And I just know I have a little bit of a lazy streak where I don't want to do the whole thing. From egg to chicken on a plate. You know, I don't want to do every single aspect myself, and try to work it the best I can. And I'm not ready for them yet anyway, but in a few years. And I'm sure they make the soil that much more fertile once you get them. So that's a good thing too. So yeah, just trying to make things better. In my own yard, I can already taste the difference. The beets I grew in the summer were great, so I'm going to try to grow them. I think into the fall. Maybe I should put some new ones in and try to grow them. But very nice. And the honeydews were okay, but I think I need to just modify how I grow. And tomatoes were out of this world good, and so were the sweet peppers were great. Maybe not out of this world, but tomatoes were out of this world. The sweet peppers were great, and a lot of good things happened in the garden. I don't know how much I have room for. It depends how I do it. I have a deck in the back that I want to pull out because it's rotting anyway. That's around the fruitless mulberry, and I have to just figure it out. I gotta put it this way. I have so much different things I have to do. Instead of getting overwhelmed, I'm trying to work on one little piece and do one little piece and one little piece, and sometimes intersect with some other part of a project, but just not get overloaded with everything. I'm thinking I could easily raise a dozen chickens if I do it right. But then how much time does it take? How much maintenance? How much, I need to start doing it on a small scale, one or two or three, and then figure that out. And like, who can I trade them to later and get some chicken breast or whatever, or something different? Maybe I could trade them for some veg, or chicken feed, or I don't know. Just try to work with it best I can. Yeah, so that's what I just keep. Every once in a while, I just have to keep stepping back. Oh, so my media room's the biggest thing right now going. I may take a step back and go look for some planters tomorrow because the media room is kind of waiting on a guy to hang my mural and some other stuff. I got a couch in there. I got to take somewhere and get redone. So I kind of folded on that part, but looking for my shoes and just chipping away at it. This time next year should be a sea change. And little by little, I meet a few people out on the West Coast that are doing gardening or doing something similar, or they're YouTubers, and little by little, starting to build a kind of a community of this out here, and just working at it, keep working at it, and I'm sure you're doing the same thing there as you're building a community. The better you build the community, the better it is, right? So. There's a few areas of the yard that I want to do this or that, and I keep changing my mind because there's so many options. Oh, I want to do this. No, I want to do native. No, I want to do tropical. No, I want to do. It's like, oh, gee, let me just slow down. Thinking too much sometimes about it all. But then there's energies where I know somebody wanted some rocks for the yard, and I have all these rocks that I don't want in the yard, but I got to kind of rinse them off a little bit at a time in a bucket, and that type of thing. So combining energies. But with that, I am getting a little real tired, and it is 9:04 here. It's probably like midnight over there. I'm going to cut this stream loose. And thanks for coming by, Glenn. And whoever else came by, if you're still here, or even if you're not, thanks for coming by. And I will most likely have one of these live on Sunday again. I'll be at like 4:30 Pacific time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. So. Oh, that's got to be great. Maybe I can do that at some point too, once I handle my own space and can convince them of it. I'm going to have some things for the neighbors that really makes it better for them to be living next to me. And if they're not swayed right away by me and see this raggedy guy living there, then over time they will be. Yeah. Again, thanks. And I'll probably have a live on Sunday afternoon. Come by if you like. You can get up on the panel if you like. Talk to you later. How do I exit the place now? Find it.